Every legendary story begins with a spark of promise, and at Barcelona's hallowed La Masia Academy, that spark crackles brighter than almost anywhere else on the planet. For decades, the club has nurtured raw, sun-kissed potential, moulding barefoot dreamers into world-beating professionals. But lately, the golden promise has cast unexpected shadows. The blistering ascents of Pau Cubarsí and Lamine Yamal, two teenagers vaulted straight into first-team training sessions, have become the stuff of hushed lore in the Catalan corridors. They seemed to leapfrog entire rungs on the ladder, turning whispers of perhaps one day into the thunderous roar of right now. And suddenly, whispers turned into demands. What if every 16 or 17-year-old saw themselves as the next in line? What if the intoxicating aroma of early fame warped patience into entitlement, turning what should be a gradual climb into an expectant sprint? This new entitlement epidemic hasn't stayed behind closed doors. From the sun-baked terraces of Camp Nou, fans have begun to clamour louder for homegrown heroes, their chants now tinged with impatience. Why isn't he playing, they ask. Why are we waiting? It's a hunger driven by a fear of missing out on the next star, the next viral goal, the next jewel emerging from Barca's crown. Yet, equally insidious, that restlessness has seeped into the very souls of the youth academy. Boys used to dream of donning the Blaugrana jersey one day. Now they demand it yesterday. They've swapped enduring the craft of slow, deliberate growth for chasing headlines. Their dreams accelerated by a social media stopwatch that refuses to pause. And when reality, like squad depth, physical readiness and tactical understanding, checks them at the minor leagues, frustration turns to friction. Enter Jan Virgili, the most recent example in this unfolding drama. At just 17, his feet weave through defences with an elegance that makes veteran centre-backs wince. His shooting boot seems to hum, almost as if eager to ink its own legend. But despite his obvious flair, Virgili isn't content to test himself against seasoned pros with Barça Athletic in the 4th division. He wants the grand stage immediately. He believes his talent should demand it. He believes the gallery lights of Camp Nou should already be his. Yet behind closed doors, the club's development chiefs exchanged concerned glances. He's skipping steps, they murmured. He's shortchanging his own growth. And with that, the bond between player and institution began to fray, thread by anxious thread. Barcelona's leadership, guardians of a philosophy centuries in the making, have drawn a line in the sand. No more shortcuts. The natural progression, youth teams, then Barça Athletic, then the first team, is not an outdated ritual, but a carefully designed journey. It's a roadmap that marries technique with maturity, pressure handling with continuity, and raw flair with tactical nuance. Any young prospect seeking to leapfrog that process must now look beyond Camp Nou's azure gates. Club President Joan Laporta's office, Sports Director Deco's office, and La Masia's coaches have all endorsed a new rule. If you refuse the prescribed path, you refuse Barça. As stark as that ultimatum sounds, it's meant to preserve the academy's integrity and uphold the lessons taught for generations. The lesson that greatness is earned, not simply presumed. This brings us back to Virgili's stormy summer. Earlier today, sources close to the player confirmed what many feared. He has formally requested to leave Barcelona. In his eyes, the prospect of toiling in the 4th division feels like shackles on his ambition. He sees himself as a comet shooting skyward, not a seed growing underground. And yet, the club sees this departure as both necessary and inevitable, barring an unlikely change of heart. Virgili's contract will be terminated or sold in the coming days. His chapter at Barcelona closing faster than he ever imagined. What happens next for La Masia? The immediate challenge lies in preventing a domino effect. If other academy stars gaze upon Virgili's exit and feel emboldened to demand their own fast track, Barcelona risks hemorrhaging talent. Young players might view the departure list as a recruitment board, ticking off the names of those who dared to dream too big, too soon. To counter that, club mentors must strike a delicate balance, nourishing ambition while reinforcing patience. Praising brilliance while tempering it with prudence. Only then can La Masia ensure that its future legends still learn to crawl before they sprint. Ultimately, this episode serves as a cautionary tale for football academies worldwide. It underscores a timeless truth. In the beautiful game, as in life, growth is a journey, not a teleportation. Every celebrated leap must be supported by 1,000 tiny steps. For Jan Virgili, The dream of Camp Nou will flicker anew. Somewhere else, where rapid ascents may be on offer. But for Barcelona, the message is crystal clear. Respect the path or find another one. And with that, we leave you on the edge of the next big question. Who will be the next young star to challenge the rules? And will they rise or fall?